Hello and welcome to Care and Wellness Connection. Care, wellness, and empowerment. Conversations with Nene and Iyonke and Undoma. I'm Nene Bibi Modi, a registered nurse, a coach, and founder of Iyonke and Undoma Wellness. This podcast is for caregivers, healthcare professionals, leaders, and families across the UK and Nigeria navigating the realities of care, leadership, and well being. Because caring for others is important, but supporting the caregiver is essential. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about something many people quietly lose along the way in healthcare and caregiving: joy. Not happiness that depends on perfect circumstances, but the kind of joy that comes from meaning, dignity, connection, and growth. Because somewhere between deadlines, staff shortages, difficult conversations, safeguarding concerns, and emotional exhaustion, many people in care stop asking, "Am I okay? Am I growing? Or do I still enjoy the work I once loved?" That's the conversation. It's about discovering that. Now, when does care lose joy? Let's be honest. Care work can become very task focused. Medication rounds, documentation, targets, meetings, family concerns, staff shortages, and slowly people begin surviving instead of living. I've seen brilliant nurses become emotionally numb. I've seen caregivers carrying guilt because they feel tired. I've seen leaders so focused on performance that they forget the human beings behind the numbers. In Nigeria, many families caring for aging parents feel isolated and overwhelmed. In the UK, health professionals are balancing increasing pressure with fewer emotional recovery spaces. But here's something I deeply believe: joy is not separate from care, from good care. Joy strengthens care. When people give better care, when they feel respected, valued, connected, and emotionally safe, that's when they give better care. So, what's the link between dignity and leadership? Dignity is not just about how we treat patients, it's also about how leaders treat teams, how organizations treat staff, and how caregivers treat themselves. A healthcare assistant or a support worker who feels invisible loses confidence. A nurse who is constantly criticized stops contributing ideas. A caregiver who never rests eventually disconnects emotionally from exhaustion, if nothing else. Dignity actually says, "I see you, you matter here, you deserve support too." And honestly, some of the strongest leaders I've worked with were not the loudest in the room. They were the people who made others feel safe, valued, and capable. That's leadership. Story time. This is a real story. This is David's team. David was leading a pressured care team in the UK. Staff morale was low, sickness levels were rising, everyone was exhausted. You get that picture. So instead of pushing harder, he changed one thing. Every Friday morning, he introduced a simple 10-minute reflection huddle. One question: what went well this week? At first, people were quiet, but gradually staff began sharing small wins: a patient smile, a successful discharge, a difficult conversation handled well. And something shifted. The work was still there, hard, but people felt connected again. That's the power of joy and dignity in leadership. Not pretending things are perfect, but helping people remember their value inside difficult systems. As usual, I have 3 practical lessons for caregivers and leaders in terms of cultivating joy. 1. Celebrate small wins. In healthcare, we often move straight to the next problem. Pause long enough to acknowledge progress. A calmer response, a better conversation, a patient feeling heard. Small wins build emotional resilience. Number 2, protect human dignity, including your own. Rest is not a weakness. Boundaries are not selfish. You cannot consistently provide compassionate care while abandoning yourself emotionally. And number 3, growth requires reflection. Growth doesn't happen only through courses and promotion. So sometimes growth looks like becoming calmer under pressure, learning to ask for help, communicating better, leading with empathy instead of fear. Reflection creates growth, and growth restores confidence. Now, here's today's reflection for you, my listeners. What brings you joy in the work you do? And when did you last pause long enough to notice it? If the answer is, I honestly don't know anymore, that's important too, because awareness is where recovery begins, just where you are right now. If today's episode has resonated with you, kindly share with a nurse, a caregiver, a healthcare leader, or someone quietly carrying too much responsibility alone. You can also connect with us on www.eoncare.com and join the conversation online. Thank you for listening to Care and Wellness Connection. Care, Wellness and Empowerment. Conversation with Nene and Care and Nzoma. Remember, care is not just about what we do for others. It's also about how we support those who give care every day. Until next time, take care of yourself while you care for others. Stay healthy, stay informed.